Commissioner Manfred, kind enough to join us here in the booth. And of course, when we ever have a special guest, the inning just flies right along. So, Mr. Commissioner, welcome back to Kansas City. And I know you see this as a donation to a national institution, but it's very much Kansas City. So I can tell you on behalf of Kansas City, thank you. Well,
look, we think that the Negro League Museum is a great asset for this community. We're happy to give back in this community. But I do agree also it's a national asset. It is a really important part of American history. And, everything about the museum, from its director, Bob, is phenomenal. But the design of the museum is one of the best I've ever seen. It really is a compelling place.
All those years that we had Buck O'Neil here too, I mean, he was just such a wonderful ambassador, and Bob Kendrick has grabbed the torch. I think for a lot of Americans, and to be quite frank, for a lot of white Americans, it's almost a shame that there was a Negro Leagues Museum, and they've done such a wonderful job of not using it as a way of reminding us of some of the worst parts of our American history, but how proud they are of the Negro Leagues.
I agree. I said it this morning in the press conference. I think one of the most interesting things about the museum, obviously you learn about great players, how high the quality of play was, but one of the most interesting things is the social aspect of the Negro Leagues. In order to accommodate the play in communities all around the country, you had hotels and restaurants that came up in order to service these players who were traveling. And that is the beginning of a social development that's really important and a really important part of our history. And I think the museum is a really positive place in that regard.
Mr. Commish, did you have a favorite Negro League player?
Oh, can I tell you something? I actually knew Buck, when I was starting out in baseball, and I was really fond of him. I mean, just personally, it was more as a man than as a player, but he was just a great person, infectious to be around in terms of his energy and commitment to the things that he believed in.
And having a Buck O'Neil legacy seat for all the people who volunteer and give of themselves to others, I think would make Buck O'Neil proud, and that's what makes another thing that makes Kansas City stand out.
I agree with that. I think Dan and David Glass and the entire Royals group here have done such a phenomenal job in this community. I mean, one of the things that drove the donation that we made today was the Royals Youth Academy being right adjacent to the museum, and for us it was kind of a 2-for-1 thing. The museum was a good in and of itself. We wanted to support it. It's a great institution that's important to baseball, but the idea that you could have programming for the Youth Academy right out of that museum was also really great from our perspective.
Well, thank you again. I know you're a busy man today. Thanks for spending a few moments with us.
It's great to see you both, as always.
Thank you for stopping by, Commissioner.
We'll be back in Kansas City soon.
Sounds good.
Thank you.